let's grab our basic instructions before leaving Earth, and let's see what the Creator, Father God, has in store for us today. Alright, I'm sorry I'm late. There's been a lot going on here, and I couldn't do it, so it's finally quiet down, and it is 4:07 in the morning. Okay, here we go. We're on Ezekiel 31. And it came to pass in the 11th year, and the 3rd month, and the 1st day of the month, that the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak unto Pharaoh king of Egypt, and to his multitude, whom art thou like in thy greatness? Behold, the Assyrians was a cedar in Lebanon, with fair branches, and was shadowing shad, and of a high stature, and his top was among the thick rocks. Alright, now if you remember back a little ways back, and you would get parables, and now he's telling you who the parables are. Alright, the waters made him great, the deep set him up on high, with the rivers running around about his plants, and sent out her little rivers unto all the trees of the field. Therefore his height was exalted above all the trees of the field, and his drought were multiplied, and his branches became long because of the multitude of waters when he shot forth. All the fowls of heaven made their nest in his drought, and under his branches did all the beasts of the field bring forth their young, and under his shadow dwelt all great nations. Thus was he fair in his greatness, in the length of his branches, for his roots were by the great waters. The cedars in the garden of God, in the cedars in the garden of God could not hide him. Right, let's go back to Genesis, to Adam and Eve. The fir tree were not like his drought, and the chestnut trees were not like his branches, nor any tree in the garden of God was like unto him in his beauty. I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of God invaded him. Therefore thus saith the Lord God, because thou hast lifted up thyself in high, and he have shot up his top among the thick rocks, and his heart is lifted up in his height. I have therefore delivered him into the hand of the mighty one of the heathen. He shall surely deal with him. I have driven him out for his wickedness. And strangers, the terrible of the nations, have cut him off, and have left him upon the mountain, and in all the valleys his branches are fallen, and his draughts are broken by all the rivers of the land, and all the people of the earth are gone down from his shadow, and have left him. Upon his ruin shall all the fowls of the heaven remain, and all the beasts of the field shall be upon his branches, to the end that none of all the trees by the waters exalt themselves for their height, neither shook up their top among the thick rock, neither their trees stand up in their height. All that drink water, for they are all delivered unto death, to the nether part of the earth, in the midst of the children of men, with them that go down to the pit. Thus saith the Lord God, in the day when he went down to the grave, I caused a mourning. I covered the deep for him, and the restoration, the flood thereof, and the great waters were stayed. And I caused Lebanon to mourn for him, and all the trees of the field fainted for him. Now, we're talking about a flood here. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you two options here. This could be Noah's flood, or let me go back to Genesis here and find the verse I'm talking about. Alright, on Genesis 2, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So, the waters were already there. So why would his Spirit already, why would it move on it again? Because it's already there. Okay? So, now, it's just a thought. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. It's just a thought. Okay. Alright, 16. I had made the nations to shake at the sound of his fall, when I cast him down to hell, with them that descend into the pit, and all the trees of Eden, the choice and the best of Lebanon, and all that drank water, shall be confronted in the nether parts of the earth. They also went down unto hell with him, unto them that be slain with the sword, and they that were his arm, that dwelt under his shadow of the midst of the heathen. To whom art thou thus like in the glory and the greatness among the trees of Eden? Yet shalt thou be brought down with the trees of Eden into the nether part of the earth, and thou shalt lie in the midst of the uncircumcised with them that be slain by the sword. This is Pharaoh and all his multitude, saith the Lord God. Ezekiel 32. And it came to pass in the 20th year, in the 20th month, in the first day of the month, that the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, take up a lamentation for Pharaoh king of Egypt, and say unto him, Thou art like a young lion of the nations, and thou art a whale in the sea, and thou comest forth with thy rivers, and troublest the waters with thy feet, and flounderest thou rivers. Well, he must be a big person, a giant, like Goliath. About Leviathan. There's one. Thus saith the Lord God, I will therefore spread out my net over thee with a company of many people, and they shall bring thee up in my net. Then I will leave thee upon the land, and I will cast thee forth upon the open field, and I will cause all the fowls of the heaven to remain upon thee, and I will fill the beasts of the whole earth with thee, and I will lay thy flesh upon the mountains, and fill the valleys with thy height. I will also water with thy blood the land therein thou swimmest, even to the mountain, and the rivers shall be full of thee. So in other words, when he loses his blood, you're going to know it in the rivers, the streams, and all this. The whole earth, from what it looks like. And the sea. Man, that's a lot of blood there, people. A lot of it. Alright. Number 7. And when I shall put thee out, I will cover the heaven, and make the stars thereof dark. I will cover the sun with a cloud, and the moon shall not give her light. All the bright lights of heaven will I make dark over thee, and set darkness upon thy land, saith the Lord God. I will also vex the heart of many people, when I shall bring thy destruction among the nations, and to the countries which thou hast not known. Yea, I will make many people amazed at thee, and their kings shall be horribly afraid for thee. When I shall brandish my sword before them, and they shall trouble at every moment every man for his own life in the day of thy fall. So everybody is going to be scared that they're going to die. I can see that happening. Not too far around the corner. Okay, for thus saith the Lord God, the sword of the king of Babylon shall come upon thee. By the sword of thy mighty will I cause thy multitude to fall, the terrible of the nation, all of them, and they shall spoil the pomp of Egypt, and all the multitude thereof shall be destroyed. I will destroy also all the beasts thereof from beside the great waters, neither shall the foot of man trouble them any more, nor the hoof of beast trouble them. Then will I make their waters deep, and cause their rivers to run like oil, saith the Lord God. When I shall make the land of Egypt desolate, and the country shall be desolate of that whereof it was full, when I shall smite all of them that dwell therein, then shall they know that I am the Lord. This is a lamentation wherewith they shall lament her. The daughters of the nations shall lament her, and they shall lament for her, even for Egypt, and for all her multitude, saith the Lord God. It came to pass also in the 12th year, in the 15th day of the month, that the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, wail for the multitude of Egypt, and cast them down, even her, and the daughters of the famous nation, unto the nether parts of the earth, with them that go down into the pit. I wonder who this famous nation is. Probably the United States, for all we know. Alright. Whom doest thou pass in beauty? Go down, and be thou laid with the uncircumcised. We're talking about beauty, and a lot of people think that the American people are pretty because they have, you can go get your makeup done, your hair done, you wear designer clothes.
Well,
got
you
designer.
used to be able to. You can't.
Yeah, you can't now, but well, I don't know. It's according how what the media is putting out over there in their country.
Right.
But I know there's a lot of people that, that they think that America is so rich and everything.
Right.
So you see where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be, it could not be. All right, here we go. 20. And they fell in the midst of them that are slain by the sword. She, well, you got to look, it says she, so who is a she? We had the Statue of Liberty, which is supposed to be a girl. All right, she delivered to the sword, draw her and all her multitude. Now, I don't know, it might be and it might not be. The strong among the mighty shall speak to him out of the midst of hell, and with them that help him. They are gone down. They lie uncircumcised, slain by the sword. Ashur is here in all her company. She graves are, look, Ashur is here in all her company. His graves are about him, and all them slain, fallen by the sword. Sorry, I messed up. Whose grave are set in the side of the pit, and her company is around about her grave. All of them slain, fallen by the sword, which causes terror in the land of the living. There is Elam and all her multitude round about her grave, all of them slain, fallen by the sword, which are gone down uncircumcised unto the nether parts of the earth, which causes their terror in the land of the living. Yet have they borne their shame with them that go down to the pit. They have set her a bed in the midst of the slain, with all her multitude. Her graves are round about him. Her graves are round about him. And all of them uncircumcised, slain by the sword, through their terror was caused by the land of the living. Yet have they borne their shame with them that go down to the pit. He is put in the midst of them that be slain. There is Meshash Tubal and all her multitude. Her graves are round about him. All of them uncircumcised, slain by the sword, though they caused their terror in the land of the living. Now, I'm going to give you another thought on this. Okay, think of like World War I, World War II, and then you have all these other countries that has their wars. Okay, and they call the land a her. Okay, but then they have nothing but a field of their dead soldiers, and I'm not talking about just America. I'm talking about everywhere.
There's a lot of people died all over the world.
And they're using their graves and all to keep us terrified. Oh, we could have another war. We could have in other words, they're using their dead bodies to say, hey, look, we can do this again. All right, 27. And they shall not lie with the mighty that are fallen of the uncircumcised. Well, look at that. And they shall not lie with the mighty that are fallen of the uncircumcised. In other words, kings, princes, presidents, politicians. And you're not going to go in their gravesite. Nope. To me, knowing what I know about all these wars and all, when they put everybody together like that, it's like a trophy. Alright, let's go on. Which are gone down to hell with their weapons of war. Aha! And they have laid their sword under their heads, but with their iniquities shall be upon their bones, that though they were the terror of the mighty in the land of the living. Yea, thou shalt be broken in the midst of the uncircumcised, and shalt lie with them, and their slain in the sword. There is Edom, her king, and all her prince. Now I'm going to make this clear. This could be and this cannot be. I'm just using my brain on what I'm reading. Alright, let's go on. 29. There is Edom, her kings, and all her princes, which with their might are laid by them that were slain by the sword. They shall die with the uncircumcised, and with them that go down to the pit. There be the princes of the north, all of them, and all the Zidonites, I don't know, which are gone down with the slain, with their terror. They are ashamed of their might, and they lie uncircumcised with them that be slain by the sword. They bear their shame with them that go down to the pit. Pharaoh shall see them, and shall be comforted over all his multitude, even Pharaoh and all his army slain by the sword, saith the Lord God. For I have caused my terror in the land of the living, and he shall be laid in the midst of the uncircumcised with them that are slain in the sword, with the sword, even Pharaoh and all his multitude, saith the Lord God. Well, I'm done reading this. We'll read 33 the next time, but I'm just using my seeing what I'm reading or trying to. I don't always catch them, but I do my best. Thanks for watching. Hugs and kisses. Don't go by what I say, go by what he says. How to donate to PayPal. You mash on Poor Man's Sewing, and then you come up here and you look for About, and you mash on About, and right here you hit on Donate to Poor Man's Sewing. It's people like you that help me out, and it is really appreciated. And I hope you many blessings in this hard times that we are fixing to go through. A lot of hugs and kisses to you.